as the honorable member from Bumula has said, I second this motion. And indeed, this is not just a political, this is a moral issue. And I understand sometimes in this house, we get to levels where we compete on political affiliations, but on this particular matter where the CS is genuinely and criminally involved in this particular issue of denying Kenyans their right, denying Kenyans their opportunity to produce, to ensure that we have food security in this country, it is prudent and necessary that we take it as a moral issue so that we deal with it. We need to demonstrate to Kenyans that as a house, we can also stand with them. It is not political, this is a moral issue. I support. Thank you.
Order, honorable members. Members on their feet, take your seats. Order. Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that pursuant to the provision of Article 152(6) of the Constitution and Standing Order 64(1)A and 66, this House resolves that the President dismisses the Honorable Franklin Mithika Linturi from the office of Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development on the following grounds. 1, gross violation of the Constitution, violation of Articles 2 and 10(1)(c) of the Constitution. That the Honorable Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting as the Cabinet Secretary responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to have committed gross violation of these constitutional provisions by 1, not undertaking public participation with leaders, stakeholders, or even departments within the ministry in the implementation of far-reaching policy decisions on the procurement and distribution of fertilizer, therefore violating the provisions of the Constitution on national values and principles of good governance, insofar as he acted as a state officer to make and implement a public policy to approve the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer contrary to the recommendations of the National Cereals and Produce Board and agents in the ministry. And 2, approving procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board discloses a gross violation of national values and principles of good governance insofar as he acted as a state officer to make and implement a public policy to approve the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer contrary to Articles 10(1)(b) of the Constitution. B, gross violation of Article 46 of the Constitution, that 1, Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting in his role as Cabinet Secretary responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to be in gross violation of this constitutional provision by 1, infringing on consumers' rights to goods and services of reasonable quality and to the protection of their health, safety, and economic interests by approving the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer, and 2, approving the budgets for procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board, thereby violating consumers' rights to goods and services of reasonable quality and to the protection of their health, safety, and economic interests as he approved the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer contrary to Article 46 of the Constitution. C, gross violation of Article 73 of the Constitution, that the conduct of 1, Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting in his role as the Cabinet Secretary responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to be a gross violation of this constitutional provision insofar as the public trust was exercised in a manner that is inconsistent with the purposes and objects of the Constitution. He failed to demonstrate respect for the people, failed to bring honor to the nation, dignity to the office, and failed to promote public confidence in the integrity of the office, contrary to Article 73, 1A, Roman 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the Constitution. B, gross violation of Article 201 of the Constitution, that one Franklin Mithika Linturi, acting in his role as a Cabinet Secretary responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to have committed a gross violation of this constitutional provision by approving the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board. This amounts to a gross violation of the principles on public finance insofar as public money is concerned, and that public money was not applied in a prudent and responsible way when he approved the procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer contrary to Article 201D of the Constitution. E, gross violation of Article 232 of the Constitution, that the Honorable Franklin Mithika Linturi, the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development, appears to have committed